Welcome back. I'm super excited here today because I'm back here at Henrik Honda of Bradenton with this brand new 2023 Honda Accord. This is the 11th generation Accord and it just has been redesigned by Honda. I saw it last week at Chicago Auto Show and now I'm going to take in a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out inside, outside, technology, test drive, the whole 9 yards. But if this is the first time we meet, my name is Matt here on Matt the Carguy. I post 2 car reviews every single week. If that's something that interests you, go ahead, check out the rest of my channel, consider subscribing, and if you watch this video and liked it, don't forget to leave me a like. First Honda Accord came off the production line in 1976, so that's about 47 years ago, and it looked completely different. First of all, it was only offered as a coupe, like a 3-door coupe, and throughout the years, this is the 11th generation Accord. The outgoing one was first introduced in 2017, and the last model year was 2022. And I gotta tell you, Honda's gonna have to do something incredible to make this better than the previous generation one. So we're gonna take a look at this and see what has changed, what could be improved, what they've done best so far. So first of all, what I have for you here, this is a Sport L hybrid trim, which in today's lineup, it's a trim right below the Touring hybrid, which is the top trim. So this is the second from the top. And if you like this color, I like the Still Night Pearl. That's what they call it. This is a premium color, about $455 to get it. Now let's take a look. So you do have this nice and long hood. And remember, you used to have a lot of things going on here on the previous generation Accord, a little bit of chrome, and now they kind of basically simplified it. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. This is very subjective, so you let me know what you think about this vehicle. Now they also have this new lights, so they're fully LED lights with daytime running lights right on top, and the background of these lights is all blacked out. What's also blacked out is this trim on the grille. Now, this is on the Sport trim. On the Touring and the EXL, you'll find some chrome in here. So that's one of the ways that you can distinguish between the trims. And then scrolling down in here, you do have this splitter down at the bottom that's also in this piano black. What I wish they kept is the fog lights, which right now you don't have. But what you do have is this air curtains for better aerodynamics. And since it's a hybrid, let's take a look how it looks. So underneath the hood, you have this 2.0 liter engine with the hybrid system. So Honda tweaked its hybrid just a little bit, and this one is basically what we have in the CR-V for this year. So 2.0 liter with the hybrid system, total output about 204 horsepower, about 247 pound-feet of torque, made it to a CVT transmission. Here's one thing that I never would understand. Now on the new CR-V, they have the hood struts. On the Pilot, they have the prop stick, and on the Accord, it looks like they have a prop stick as well. Something that definitely could be improved upon. Now you do have some noise installation underneath the hood, which should make it for a nice and quiet ride in this brand new Accord. Everything's getting bigger, including this brand new 2023 Accord, about 2.7 inches longer than the outgoing generation, making it the biggest Accord to date. Now, I do like the shape of it on the side. I do like the new roofline. However, I'm a little bit concerned, and I'm going to get inside and check it out to see if the actual headroom has not been compromised by having this sloping roofline. It looks kind of more like a fastback, like something that the whole hatch would open. Well, of course it doesn't, but we'll check it out in the back. I do love the color, that night still color, pearl. It looks really, really nice. It does have some sparkle in here, so it looks fantastic. It looks probably better on the in real life than on the video, so check it out yourself. Now the sport trim, we have the 19-inch wheels. I do like this 5-spoke design. I also like the color of it. It's kind of this satin black color. It's not very shiny, really looks very nice. Now as far as the tires, 235 by 40/19, that's the size of the tires that you can see on the sport trim. You do have a lot of blacked out trims, including the mirror is all blacked out. It does have the piano black surroundings of the windows. The bottom of is matte black, though. It does have the smart entry system, as you can see. I'm going to show you the key in just a little bit. And then the side skirt at the bottom on the sport trim is also blacked out. So it looks pretty darn good. You also have this window in the back that gives you a little bit more outward visibility, hopefully eliminating as many of the blind spots as you can have. So let me show you the key right over here. This is the new Honda key. Smaller, we've seen it on the new Civic, new CR-V. Basically every new car that comes out have this new key. A lot smaller than the previous generation one, a lot lighter, so don't lose it. And here it is, guys. This is the back of it. This is what I've been telling you about. There is a surprise right there. Surprise. It's the lights. The lights are completely different than the previous ones. As you remember, the previous ones have these claw-like lights. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I'm not a huge fan of these either. Now, they're fully LED, but there's something kind of missing. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I'm sure they're pretty super bright and visible at night. Now, so you can see this sloped back, and you do have this piano black trunk-lit spoiler here, Accord on one side, Hybrid Sport on the other side, reflector lights. You don't have any visible exhaust. You do have this pretty cool trim, looks kind of like a diffuser on the sides, and this is all in piano black. And because it's longer, it should have more room in the trunk. Let's check it out. And right away, I can see there's tons of room in this trunk. It's wide, it's deep, it's tall. It does have a nice opening, so you can definitely fit stuff inside of here. Now, right on top of this lid over here, you can see that you do have this emergency unlock in case somebody locks you in the trunk. But over here, it's pretty deep. And do we have a spare tire? I kind of doubt it, but let's see. No spare tire. You do have a fix-it-flat with this styrofoam organizer underneath here, and the seats do split. There's a 60-40 split, and you can do that by pulling on these levers over here. So this is, well, I'm 6 feet tall. This seat is adjusted to my regular driving position, and I have to tell you, I have plenty of room. This is definitely the largest mid-size sedan that I've sat in. This is definitely bigger than the Camry, definitely bigger than the K5. It's bigger than the Altima, and it is bigger than the Sonata. So Honda did a nice job extending this vehicle. Again, they added about 2.7 inches in the total length of the vehicle. Now, the wheelbase remained the same, but they were able to carve out some nice spacing over here. Now, the roof line that slopes, but they still have about 1.5, maybe 2 inches of headroom, so no complaints here. And as far as the shoulder room, the seats are really nice, comfortable, and they do have plenty of shoulder room as well. Now let's jump inside. I'll show you the rest of it. Check it out, starting with the rear door panel. I kind of wish Honda did something a little bit different, because this looks awfully plain. It also has this cheap kind of hard plastic in the back. Kind of wish that they made it some soft injection plastic molding, a little bit trim in the back, break it up a little bit. What's also interesting, I don't even see a speaker here. Normally you have a speaker somewhere in the rear door. There's nothing here, just the window and the door handle. Now, as far as the roominess, we already covered that. There's plenty of room. There's no shortage of room in the back seats. They're nice, comfortable. Now, this is the Sport L trim, and L stands for leather, so it does have the leather wrapped seats, and does have the folding armrest with cup holders right in the middle. What you also have in the middle is this bump, so I'm not sure if that's going to affect that third passenger, probably a little bit. But what I'm really concerned about, this is a mid-size sedan. Now, I didn't see it on the Civic, and I was complaining about it, but there's no vents here There's no connectivity. There's nothing on this console in the back. I wish they kind of did something with it. Put connectivity, put USB, USB-C, maybe vents in the back. They do have the speakers in the back, so that's where the sound is coming from. And of course, let's listen to how this door sounds when you close it. Boom. Nice, solid thud right here. Now, what do we have here? It looks similar as it does in the back, but I gotta tell you, this is all soft touch. This is soft touch. You have this trim piece that looks like it probably has some ambient lighting in it. We're going to check it out while on the interior. It does have this soft armrest, and of course you have your usual suspects. You have your window mirror lock controls. You also have 2 memory seat settings and then a little bit more storage, and you do have the speaker in this one. Now, on the driver's side, you have the 10-way power adjustment on the driver's seat. You also have a 4-way power adjustment on the passenger seat. The seats nicely trimmed with leather, not very aggressive, but this is not a sporty vehicle, even though it has sport in its trim name. And let's jump inside. I'll show you the rest of this interior. So in addition to the brand new exterior, we have the brand new interior on this vehicle. And you can see right here that Honda is going with the same kind of look on all of their brand new vehicles. So we've seen that starting with the redesigned Civic, then the HR-V, CR-V, and then the Pilot. You have this kind of mesh grille that looks different on all the models, but the idea remains the same. It's kind of a honeycomb on the Civic, but not so much honeycomb on the Accord. It's kind of look more similar to the Pilot. Now, if you look at the dashboard itself, now this is a soft touch material. This is a soft touch material, so definitely they didn't skip on the quality in the back. And one of the biggest improvements, in my opinion, is this screen right here. Now, this is the larger screen. The good news is you get it on most of the higher trim levels, and that's the 12.3-inch screen. And you also have the fully digital dashboard. So let's start this vehicle. As always, you do it by pressing the button. Now it lights up as white. You push it, and when the vehicle is running, it turns red, just to make sure that you know that the vehicle is on. No crazy animations or anything like this when you start it up, but the screen lights up, and I do like it. I gotta tell you. Well, first things first, let's take a look at the steering wheel. So it's a multi-function steering wheel, 3 spokes. Now you do have a multitude of buttons on both sides. You have the media controls on the left-hand side, as well as the voice control. And then you have the cruise control, adaptive cruise control, and the lane keep assist on the right-hand side. Now in the back, you can see what looks like the pedal shifters, but this is different brake settings, or the regenerative settings. So this is a hybrid vehicle, and we're going to check this out. You can make it harder, you can make it easier, and this is going to dictate of how much energy used during the braking goes back into the battery, or how much of that energy is actually being produced. So take a look at the instrument cluster, and what we have is we have the speedometer on the right hand side, but on the left hand side there's no tachometer, but this is more of this charge level, so power and charge. And now it says that we're in the EV mode. You see what's playing, you see it's ready to go. We're in the parking, and we're in the automatic mode. The little car icon in the middle, it's kind of cool, because check this out. Now I do have my foot on the brake. I let it go, the lights disappear. So it mimics basically of what's going on, what I'm doing to it. And that happens when I press the brakes, when I turn the turn signal on. Either way, check it out. This is kind of a neat animation. And then of course you have the digital display of speed, and then the digital speedometer on the right hand side. Now I mentioned that there's different drive modes, so let's check it out what they are. So we have normal, econ, and we also have sport. We also have the individual drive mode, which we've seen on the Civic, which we've seen on some of the Acuras too. I'm going to show you of how to set it up. What else do we have? If I start scrolling, you can see different functions that are available: customized display, back, phone, FM, AM, USB, Bluetooth, smartphone, Alexa, back to customized display. So these are your options, and some of them, if I hit the smartphone, it's going to show nothing because mine has not programmed in it yet, but it shows you what's playing in here, and it says FM, AM. There's no Sirius XM for this model Accord. I'm not sure why Honda decided to not to include it, but that might have been the reason for it. So this is your instrument cluster, fully digital. It does have some customization. Let's move to the infotainment system. Now this is the big screen. I'm excited about it. I complained a lot about it in the new Pilot. If they put this in the new Pilot, this car would have been like, you know, another 20% higher in my book, which is already high anyways. So individual settings can also be accessed by pressing and holding the drive mode switch. That's fine, that's where I left it at. But this is where you set it up. I hit customize. All right, so what we can change is we can change the powertrain to Eco, Normal, or Sport. Same thing with the steering wheel, Normal and Sport. This is the adaptive cruise control, Econ or Normal, and gauges either Normal or Sport. So not a lot of customization, but hey, you know, it makes you feel special if you have it. All right, let's go back to the home screen. This system is basically the same as you have in the current generation Accord. Now, if you do go up to the Touring Hybrid, you get this Google-based system, which I'm not sure why they make this distinction between the Touring and even like the Sport L. It would be nice to have it on pretty much all of the trim levels. But what we have here is you no longer have the hard button. So this is all on the display, which is fine with me. Home, back, Bluetooth radio, FM, smartphone projection. Press and hold to add if you want to customize it. And on the main screen, you have the phone, FM, Bluetooth audio, smartphone projection. Now, it does have wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay. Here's the typical the hybrid screen. We have the power flow. Car and drive, I mean, range 272 miles. The vehicle has about half, just a little less than half of gasoline in it. So if that can be 560-mile range, that would be pretty good, right? So then we can see FM, AM, Bluetooth audio, back to the home screen. Vehicle settings, let's check this out. TPMS calibration meter setup, keyless access setup. Now I do like how it looks on the screen. It looks awesome. Lighting setup, climate control setup. Now driver assistive setup. Let's see. Default all body color. Well, we have it in this blue, so you can actually have the same color on the screen as you have on the vehicle. But I do want to check out one thing. I'm actually going to try to connect my phone to it, connect device. Somebody already connected theirs, and I'm going to scan it on my phone and see what's available. Available devices. It says Honda Accord pairing. It should give me some prompts on the screen. Yep, same pairing code. Yep, the same. Connecting to my S22 Ultra. Sure, I want to use it as a priority device. And yes, I would like to enable Android Auto. So now I have my Android Auto. And there you go. Now we can unlock it on my phone. Continue on the car setup. Let's hit continue. And that's, if we're in the Android Auto mode, right there, this is what you have. Nice, visible. Now this is what we need on the Pilot. Perfect, 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 perfect. I think that really means a lot. Now this is the new Android Auto, so it has different display. And then we can go back to the Honda display over here. Bluetooth audio, trip computer, Alexa. You can set up Alexa with it. Wi-Fi hotspot clock, Honda Link. So this is what you have here. Compass, display mode, all apps. All right, so overall, a really nice and improved infotainment system. A big thank you to Honda for doing that. Now you do have your physical volume and audio. I always found this placement kind of strange. I just saw that on the Acura. And then down below you have your vents, you have your hazard lights, and still like physical knobs for the climate control, which is not bad. You can hear a little bit of feedback here. You can see that changing on the display, and you have the dual zone climate control. Again, I wish there were vents in the back of this vehicle. You do have the heated seats, no ventilated on the Sport. I think you do have the ventilated. Yes, you do have the ventilated on the Touring. And then you have USB-Cs, which is another change. There used to be USB Type A's, and I don't have wireless charging on the Sport L. Again, you have to go up to the Touring model in order to get that. Big cup holders, kind of a pretty cool looking, lots of piano black, not my favorite color. And you do have the regular shifter. Now, Honda had the push button shifter for the hybrids, I believe, last year. Yeah, they did. Oh, I just activated the rear view camera, which I'm going to go back to. So we have the drive modes. We went over that, but see how they change on the display over here. So you have Sport, Normal, Econ, and you can go back to the individual mode, which you can customize. You also have the EV mode, and that's basically for just driving in the parking lot. Once put it in reverse, here's another improvement that I definitely would like to see. Is the quality of the camera. That's one thing. It's not bad, but it could be improved. But also a 360 would be nice. You don't even have the option for the 360 on the top of the line Touring model. So here's your regular Honda camera. You have 3 different angles, and you do have the active trajectory lines, which is nice, display on your screen. And that's basically it. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it creates this noise kind of like a lot of hybrid vehicles when you put it in reverse, so it kind of warns you that you are in reverse. Now, scrolling back down here, you do have the parking brake and the brake hold, and you do have another console over here which you can open, and that's how much storage you have underneath. So again, no home link system that I can see over here. You do have the SOS button, kind of this fighter jet red button. Don't touch it unless you mean to use it. Push as far as the tilt and the sliding moonroof or sunroof, but no panoramic sunroof is available on this generation Accord. It is very strange, kind of weird that Honda does give you some things on some cars, but not on the others. I don't know. If they're trying to unify everything, that could be a way to do it. So let's see, you have the illuminated mirrors, both driver and passenger side. Looks pretty cool. Love that 12.3-inch display. Let's see how it drives. Ready to go, but before we do that, as always, let's take a look at the Honda website and let's see what trim levels are available for this brand new 2023 Accord. So there's 6. There's 2 of them that are non-hybrid, and that's the LX and the EX. They share the same engine with the non-hybrid CR-V, 1.5 liter turbocharged engine, 192 horsepower with 192 pound-feet of torque. The LX starts at $27,295. The EX starts at $29,610, and then there's 4 different hybrid models, starting with the Sport Hybrid, $31,895 starting MSRP, EXL Hybrid, $33,540, Sport L Hybrid, $33,875, and the Touring Hybrid, $37,890. Now, there's a lot of equipment that goes in from one trim to another, but probably the biggest jump it is from the Sport L Hybrid to the Touring Hybrid, because you do have the different infotainment system. You have this Google built-in, you have the head-up display, you do have the Bose premium stereo wireless phone charger. So a lot of premium options, and that's basically at the price that's still under $40,000, which is very competitive in the segment. Now, for a hybrid vehicle, let's talk about gas mileage, because you do have 46 in the city and 41 on the expressway. So that is a pretty decent gas mileage. Now, Toyota gets a little bit better gas mileage. Hyundai gets about very similar as far as that. And then if you go with the Sonata Limited, that's probably going to be about 38, 39,000. So very closely priced to that. Now, Toyota can be priced out over $40,000 on their hybrid, but they do get, over 50 miles per gallon. Now, you can get a little bit better gas mileage if you choose the lower end trim with the 17-inch wheels. And that will give you another 2 miles per gallon or so. But let's see how this vehicle drives We're gonna take it right in the middle of this parking lot, and I'm gonna check a couple things out. Now, Honda has always been good about the turning radius, so that's one thing that we're gonna check. Another thing that I want to check is the acceleration, but not really a 0 to 60, kind of a pick up and go and see where it ends up at the end of the lot, and also kind of the agility and the body roll. So first of all, what we're going to do is make a few circles around here. So turn the steering wheel all the way to the right, and then we have, wow, that is super tight. That is super tight. Now let's see of how it reacts when we do a few twists and turns. And I have to tell you, this vehicle is not stiff by any means, but it holds on to the road with the minimum body roll. So it's really a good feel, and it does it super quiet too. That's another thing to mention. This cabin is very quiet as far as being inside of the vehicle. And then we're going to check out the acceleration as well. One quick thing, unfortunately, my camera right here just went out. Thanks GoPro for this, but we're gonna do a quick acceleration from stop, and let's see. Get it up to about 30. It's not bad, actually. 204 horsepower. It feels good. It doesn't feel as good as the 2.0 turbo that Accord no longer is going to have for this year. Unfortunately, this was my favorite and a lot of people's favorite motor, but let's face it, you know, if it doesn't sell or if it doesn't make money, the companies are going to discontinue it. So unfortunately, we're no longer going to have the 250 horsepower on the Accord. It's either that or 192 non-hybrid. Now we're going to check that out in just a little bit. Overall, it is a decent feel of this vehicle. It turns good, it accelerates decent. Now we're gonna get on the road, and hopefully, again, I apologize for not having that rear camera where I normally have, but you know, it's the technology that we live in. We have to rely on that, and not always it's what we want. So one quick acceleration test, and we're gonna sum it all up. There's a lot of things that I like about this vehicle. I do like the size of it. I do like that Honda is finally catching up with this new technology with the 12.3-inch screen, which was so needed, and a lot of people, including myself, were complaining at some other models that, hey, you know, why Honda doesn't have it. Here's the acceleration. 55 miles per hour. That's about as fast as I can go in here, and it's decent. You know, it's gonna merge in traffic, no problems. You know, it's not gonna be this sporty vehicle, which, you know, brings me to my point. I kind of wish that Honda left that sporty vehicle as a sporty vehicle. You know, you have the Sonata N-Line, you have the TRD Pro on the Camry. Why not have a sporty version of the Accord? Maybe it's coming for the next year. I have no idea. I hope so. But this is very nice. I'm gonna do a non-hybrid, and hopefully I'll get that touring hybrid on the channel soon. So far, this is what we have. So to sum it all up, cabin is super quiet, visibility is great, the roominess is great. There's a couple things that I wish that they could have done better. The design, I know it's subjective, but it's too plain, just a little too plain for me. I'm not sure about the LED lights as well in the back. Again, this is something that you might have a completely different opinion, and we're both going to be right about it because this is so subjective. But the drive of it is superb. The one thing that I wish that it had, vents in the back, some connectivity in the back, a little bit more premium materials in the back doors, the availability of a panoramic sunroof, and the 360 camera, which all of this Honda already has on some of the other models, not to mention a prop stick on the hood. Now, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. Don't be shy, put some comments in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts about this vehicle, and I hope to bring another one soon on my channel. So I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.